Few years back in Ramadan, this rat got. If you want to know the full story and how we him after he tried to kill us, watch the video to the end. And let's get started. I'm gonna tell you guys this story exactly the way it happened to us. Before we get into the actual rat story, I need to answer the question that's probably already in your head. How did they even invade the house in the first place? And where did they even come from? You see, the house behind ours was the super old traditional house, and the people living there suddenly moved out. At the same time, they decided they still wanted to benefit from the place, and they turned it into a food storage warehouse. Honestly, I don't even think it's legal in the neighborhood. But whatever. At first, everything seemed normal. But after a while, the warehouse basically turned into a rat kingdom. They ate there, slept there, drank there, reproduced there. Whole family business. And the worst decision we made was leaving our house empty for 7 straight months. And the problem wasn't the inside of the house. No, the outside construction in the back still wasn't fully finished. The walls weren't completely covered, and there were still open holes between the bricks. And on top of that, the balcony door was left open. So it was easy for the rat to climb the back wall using the pipes, sneak into the balcony, and enter the house directly into the kitchen. And obviously, the house was empty, which made it the perfect place for him to move on, bring his wife, settle down, and start a happy little family. When we finally came back home, the shock was insane. The funny thing is, before leaving, we packed everything and left furniture up because we were scared of the jinn. Meanwhile, the things living in the house ended up being demons of another kind. So we had a family meeting and decided it was time to launch a full-on war against them. Traps, cages, glue traps, poison, you name it. We bought everything, thinking we'd wipe them all out in one day and be done with it. At least, that's what we thought. But the war lasted way longer than expected, because these rats were actually smart as hell. So we changed the plan. We decided to target the babies first, one rat at a time. And honestly, we got them one after one. Cages, traps. We caught them every way possible. We tried figuring out exactly where they entered from and how they moved around, but we couldn't. The wall behind the house, the one they climbed, connected to the kitchen window, the living room window, and the balcony. One random day, my sister was standing in the kitchen when suddenly she saw one and started chasing it. It ran from the kitchen to the living room, climbed the curtain, then escaped out the window. So she ran to the balcony, and turns out the rat was outside trying to get back into the balcony and enter the house again. And that's when we finally discovered all their entrances. So we shut everything down. Whoever was inside stayed inside, whoever was outside stayed outside. And we kept their babies one by one until there wasn't a single baby left. At that point, only the mom and dad remained. But because of how huge they were and how insanely smart they were, nothing worked on them. Our last option was poison. We mixed poison into food, left it into the kitchen floor, turned the light off, and went to sleep. The next day, still untouched, like they knew. And not only that, as revenge for their babies, they started becoming destructive. The creepy part was that we barely ever saw them with our own eyes. We only saw the traces. They'd hide all day, come out at night, and we'd wake up the next morning to discover their crimes. And this kept going for a long time, with zero success. Until the day my mom finally caught the mother rat. And that was historic. You guys genuinely cannot imagine the psychological, physical, and financial damage these two rats caused us. And our biggest fear was that they reproduced again after we already killed the babies and sealed the entrances. So, like I said, we celebrated after the mom and thought, okay, the dad's finally gonna give up and leave the house forever now. And honestly, he vanished for so long that we literally forgot he ever existed. But the truth was, that psycho had found himself a new hiding spot, then spent there the whole time to grieve, and secretly declared a war on us. He activated a mood I can only describe as or to be. Why do I call it that? You're about to find out. This creature somehow learned our sleeping schedule. All day he'd stay hidden or asleep. Then at night, When the house got quiet, he'd monitor all our movement. And honestly, that strategy worked perfectly for him for a long time. Until the night he finally decided to get revenge. It was the most normal day ever. I honestly don't remember anything special about it. And everyone in the house went to sleep. Everybody slept with their door closed, except me and my sister. Our room door was open. Suddenly, at 3 a.m., my sister woke up choking from the smell of gas, with tears in her eyes, and she already has asthma. She started opening the window in the dark while panicking. Then I woke up and saw her terrified, saying, "There is a gas leak in the house." We walked into the living room, and the smell was even stronger. The gas had spread through the entire house. I ran to the kitchen, and the smell there was way worse. We opened the gas cabinet and secured the gas tank, woke everybody up, made sure everyone was okay, then aired out the whole house. After that, everyone went back to their room. But honestly, I don't think everyone slept after that. I remember me and my sister stayed awake until sunrise, just sitting there silently, staring at each other, completely traumatized and trying to process what almost happened. My brother said the rat was the one who chewed through the gas hose from the opening between the stove and the gas cabinet. And when we checked, the hole was huge, and you could literally see the teeth marks. We couldn't deny it, even if we wanted to. After that, securing the gas tank before bed became part of our nightly routine, and we all agreed this thing had to die. But how? When we couldn't even catch a glimpse of him anymore. And then, of course, he disappeared again for another long period of time. But after a while, we started noticing weird things disappeared from the kitchen. Rags, towel, pieces of fabric in general, just gone. Every time we bought new one, they disappeared too. Another weird things we noticed was that underneath the stove we kept finding pieces that looked like sponge or cotton. Turns out this psychopath had been eating the thermal isolation under the oven until he completely destroyed it. This isolation's whole purpose was to stop the oven heat from spreading through the kitchen. At some point, my mom literally banned me from using the oven because it became dangerous and insanely hot. And she was convinced the rat was hiding all the stolen towels and fabric inside that area too. Because every time we used the oven, smoke and a burnt plastic smell would come out. I listened to her for a few days, then eventually I got tired and decided I wanted to bake mac and cheese. So I made it. And when it was time to broil the top layer, I was like, I will only turn the oven on from the top for a little while and sit there watching it. And I actually did sit there the whole time until I finished. Then I turned it off. As usual, some smoke came out, but not much. So I opened the window and turned on the fans, but unfortunately, with all that extra airflow, the exact thing my mom warned me about started happening. The stuff under the oven started burning more intensely, and we had no idea. Then suddenly, smoke started filling the entire house. Me and my mom ran into the room and shut the door so we wouldn't suffocate, and my mom started yelling at me because I didn't listen to her. Then suddenly, and out of nowhere, my brother burst through the door. Before he could say anything, black ashes flew right past my face, and this massive cloud of smoke came rushing into the room behind him. And we're gonna stop the story right here because it's long, and I will drop part 2 if we got 20 like. And write down below part 2 so I can drop it very soon. And I will see you guys in the next video.